Hello. This is a video of like an update on the weekly routine. And guess what? Sometimes, and I'm sure you all know it, and I'm sure you've all gone through it, things get in the way. And how can they get in the way? Well, sometimes you have to have a plan B. I'll tell you why. This is, you'll see a picture soon of this. Right, it's three, like you'll see on the other picture as well. Okay, three baskets like this, mounted with what's the name, bars on the left, and as you can see on the picture. And some of the screws, guess what? A tiny bit too small. Right, that should have taken, I would say, probably maybe 45 minutes at the most. And guess what? It took more than that. It wouldn't stay. The screw, you couldn't get it. So I've managed to do, and oh, that annoyed me. No hands really. This little thing getting in the way. Yeah. And obviously that took a bit longer than I thought. So, but yes, great, it's nice in the kitchen. I put the fruit on there, so the fruit at the top, no, the potatoes at the top, put the oranges and the apple on the second shelf, and on the first shelf at the bottom, I put this reusable bag that Sainsbury offers, you know, to put your fruit and your vegetable in, so you don't have to keep wasting plastic and that kind of thing, which is great, a great initiative. So it's there, so it takes a lot less space on the counter, if you know what I mean, yeah, in the kitchen. So there is more space to do the kitchen work. So I suppose that will help in the long run, isn't it? With the kitchen cooking and all that, yeah. More use of more effective use of the space on it. Right, but you got your routine planned, and then suddenly that little thing turns in the way. So that I will have to do this one. This one is for the bathroom upstairs, so I can put my shampoo and stuff like that, and the different stuff I use for washing myself and other things, that kind of thing. Yeah, and maybe small towels in there too, and that kind of thing. So I'll expect a battle with this one too. But fortunately, I have some screws in the kitchen, a lot of screws, but I have to use them. It's a tiny bit thinner, so I know it's good to stay in one piece, but I've got to lift it if I want to move it, as opposed to pushing it. And another thing as well, I'm doing, as part of my weekly routine, I've got the International Coaching and Academy course online to do. But guess what? Most of the videos I can play, it says, can't play. The settings are not right. I don't know what to do, because it plays on every single other people computer and stuff. So I'm going to find out whether I can do it from my telephone actually. Okay, and I take a screenshot of every module I actually achieve. So maybe that's the future for me, is to do it on the telephone. So sometimes, yeah, but it's still, some people are going to say, oh well, you don't need to do you don't need to plan anything if it's getting in the way all the time. Yeah, but you do, because if you don't plan it, then it goes all over the place, and then everything gets in the way, and that way you can't do it. I still have my weekly, which is in my big 2020 diary here. This one, which is so I make notes at the end of it. So notes I need to know, which is in the notes bar, and I plan my week over there, as you can probably see some of them, okay, on one day. And and then sometimes plans can change, absolutely. Yeah, as part of my weekly routine, for example, today I had a Zoom at 5:30, which I changed it to 6:30. And so what? It changed to 6:30. Give me more time to do the video I'm doing now. Okay? And what do I do during the day here, in my house? Alone. And I'm quite happy enough. Yeah, I know my wife is not here no more because her time has come. But she always wanted us to carry on anyway. And that's what I do. If anything, in her memory and for my own good too. Okay, and then I think it's important to keep going. And so one of the things I'm learning now, so this laptop of mine, which doesn't want to play the video from the ICA, just annoys me. And I got very angry with this yesterday. You know, but that poor little thing doesn't have a voice, does it? Yeah. And so I like to make sure it's all for the bathroom, so I get some space. And no, and this ICA thing wouldn't work. And why? God knows. I've got another Zoom at 3 o'clock, so you know what? This is why I need to do this video in a proper way. Not wait forever. And it's 10 to 12 now. Because if I were, oh, I do it later, that kind of thing. And then you know what? Later never happens. Does it? Later never happens. So, and also as part of all the weekly routines, so today, Friday the 24th, yeah, so, and the Zoom was supposed to happen this morning. I'm glad it didn't anyway, because then I've been able to do other things. So, and then, okay, and then that's very important. And I received a letter, a cat statement from my wife. Oh, I was so annoyed. Look, I said to the lady over the phone, you know, you must be in the firing line quite often, but it's not your fault. Anyway, so that's okay. So that's being sorted. And then tonight, and I do my meditation in the morning. Okay, so the meditation I do, I call it Gongyo, Namyo, or Renge Kyo. That's what I do. Other people do other things. They meditate in different ways. And then we got to accept that. We got to accept that because it's important to understand people have other way of thinking. And then I've been working for a long time on my website, survivinguk.com. It's all about cross-cultural communication. And finally, I think I had a light bulb moment thanks to the Zoom I am attending every week and the discussion I have over the phone, all planned out for the week. Different Zoom. Zoom for this YouTube training I'm getting. Zoom for the coaching session we have with John Haynes, a wonderful coach, wonderful group. Okay, and also other things that finally a light bulb moment about this course, about this book, and as you can see, okay, about this one, coaching questions. And then I've looked at it a few times, but I didn't look far enough, did I? And at the end of the book, at the on the very last page, we have cross-cultural coaching. And that's what I am interested in. I am interested in different way of thinking. I am interested in how we can bridge the gap between nations, between people. And sometimes you don't have to go very far. You have to, if I take the example of Liverpool and Bolton, for example, the accent is so different to start with. And I bet you the culture between the two towns is actually different too. So how do we bridge the gap between culture across countries when sometimes we have to bridge the gap between culture within a country? Because there are so many different religious beliefs to start with, so that's already, in my opinion, like a kind of cultural differences. Okay, we got Muslim people, we got Christian, we got Buddhists like myself, we got other people from, we got people who use mindfulness and all that. But I think at the end of the day, the main thing that people want to achieve is, guess what? Is happiness. We just want to be happy. What does it mean to be happy? But that's another thing. That's probably that could be the subject of another video. What is happiness? Okay. Yeah, I'll do one on happiness soon or later. Okay, that's the topic we are going to talk tonight about actually. On our Zoom, on our meditation Buddhist Zoom, we are going to do at 8 o'clock with the Bolton group. So What does it mean to you to be happy? But anyway, one thing I would say, it's difficult to be happy and fulfilled when we most of the planet, including ourselves, are on quarantine. So what do you do when you're on quarantine and then you're not be able to go to see your friends and stuff like that? So thanks to Zoom, we can meet a lot of people out there, which I think is fantastic. And then there are other apps as well that people can speak to through Messenger, through WhatsApp, and that kind of thing. I know there are other apps, Tango, I believe. I've not used it. That clashes with Zoom because a friend of ours couldn't download Zoom because it clashes with Tango and stuff. And some people are saying, yeah, and then probably rightly so, that Zoom has its faults in terms of security. But, you know, we're being watched all the time. Anyway, we live, how can I put it, in a Big Brother house. Even more so with this quarantine. It's even more so a Big Brother house, isn't it? So, we've got to be aware of that. But then again, everything is dangerous, isn't it? Every single thing is dangerous. I don't want to put negative things in people's mind, but, you know, I can just go out to the front door and then trip over something that somebody left in the garden, for example, and then I could, you know, break my arm or something once I am, you know. So everything is dangerous. So we've got to bear that in mind as well. We wouldn't do anything, you know. We just stay at home then. Well, even at home, even in the kitchen. The other day I was doing some cooking and I didn't realize the water, you know, was boiling my vegetable. The water had gone in the casserole, in the pan. I call it casserole in French. The water thing, you know. So obviously, then I managed to save the day. But that's dangerous too, isn't it? Everything has some kind of danger. So how do you go over those points when you think that, how can I put it? When your plan doesn't go to plan. When your plan doesn't go to plan, but you still have to have a plan. And people might say, why do you need a plan when it doesn't go to plan? But quite simply, it's a bit like when you drive a car to a destination. Then you plan your route from, let's say, between Bolton and Portsmouth, for example, when I go to France. Well, hopefully I'll be able to either drive to France and fly to France soon. But you have a plan then. Okay, I go there, I go that way, I go this way and that way. And then suddenly on the motorway you got roadwork. Or there's been an accident. Unfortunately they do happen. But what do you then? Do you stop and go back home? Or do you replan your route? But you replan your route, don't you? And that's important to understand. You replan your route to your destination. Okay, and I think the same applies to your weekly routine. You have to adapt and adjust every single day. And what do you do to fill your days when we are in quarantine? A lot of people watch TV on Netflix. I'm not to criticize anyone, but maybe we could use. I'm not going to criticize or judge anyone. That's up to the individual to do what they want to do. But what else could we do to improve our mental health? What else could we do to once we are on the other side, as it were, of the coronavirus pandemic, once they lifted the lockdown partially or fully? So what do we do when we get on the other side? Why not use the time to learn something different? Like, for example, myself, I've been learning about editing videos. And for me, it's a big step, because even the simple thing of editing videos is hard for me, because my mind is not, at the moment, like, I would say, technically engaged, can put it that way, to do. But yeah, I'm getting there, slowly. Yeah, I'm getting there. Finally, I have understood to put text going across or underneath or at the top using VideoPad. So, in listening to the recording and tutorial from different people on YouTube, because every single person has a different way to teach and to coach people. We all have our identity for that. And then finally the penny has dropped. Okay, and that's great. And then I've learned the different things as well. We, you know, to erase something on the video, you can do it in two ways. So you go on that blob, you drag it and click in the bin. Somebody does it in different way. I've noticed on erase it now, but he split the two parts, and he just oh, go. But I'll have to listen to the video again. So there are different ways of doing it, which is fantastic. Yeah. My next aim now is to work on thumbnail. That's very important on the video. So that's something that a lot I've noticed a lot of people do very well on YouTube. And when you got a good thumbnail, it will attract more views, and people are going to click on it. Yeah. And then you need to put something a bit different on it. So that's one of the things. That's some of the objectives that I am learning. And also, it's important when you do a video that you plan it. What's the purpose of the video? Or is it intended to? And stuff like that. And little thing that sometimes we neglect. The same for a speech, for example. What's the purpose of your speech? What do you want to come? What do you want? What's your message? And who is it intended to? And sometimes we tend to forget little things like that. And the light bulb moment, I am glad that I came across this book, and I am glad somebody mentioned, because my survivinguk.com website is all about cross-cultural communication between the French people, yes, the French people or the French community and the UK community, because there are differences, even though there is only a small. How can I put it? The English channel, or we'll just call it the channel, as it were, is only small, isn't it? It's narrow. But there is a sea of differences between the two countries. And then we need to be able to understand each other. So, thanks to Maria and thanks to Frankie Kington, so Maria Dorota Kompanowski, who runs Dolphin Seminars, and thanks to Frankie Kington, they pointed out to me that on the very last page of this coaching book, there is a section about cross-cultural coaching. And I think that's going to be the main thing of my business. And then the other channel I'm going to be doing with regards to, and we're going to be doing the channel soon. Once I have gone through the course on video creation with, I don't mind mentioning it, Gillian Perkins International. And it's very good. I think she's very good. But anyway, so that's another thing. But cross-cultural coaching, that could be gone, once I do the videos on French culture versus the English culture. And not only that, some historic facts that are probably not taught in school books. And no, it's not political bias or anything like that. It's something else very interesting that my dad pointed out the other day. And so that will be part of the video that creates some interest. So what I'm trying to say, guys out there, with regards to your routine, yes, we need to have a routine. I am lucky enough to have a garden. I am lucky enough to be able to go in the front garden. The back garden is a bit awkward because it's on a slope like that, so it's not very comfortable. But every few days I feed the birds because they need feeding like everybody else, and I can go in front gardens. I am so lovely neighbors across the road and next door you knock on my dog, brought some food for me, which was great. Was a bit worried because obviously I spend a lot of time in the house. I don't go out very often. Just go out to the shop and stuff like that, and because obviously we need to protect ourselves first and foremost, because there is no good country or not good economy if the population is not healthy. Yeah. So I hope our leaders and our countries and people all over the world are going to learn about that. Are going to learn that we need a good health system in the first place. Okay. So I'm not going to start going down the political route and all that, but in my opinion, there should be no, how can I put it, the funding should be continuous, and NHS and other systems in other countries should not be put on, should not be the first organizations that when government wants to make saving, and then they should not be the first choice of making savings, if that makes sense, okay? They shouldn't, because at the end of the day, we need to protect ourselves, and we need to be as strong as possible for our own country. And we are lucky enough and to have a fantastic NHS in this country. The French people are lucky enough to have their own system, and so is Belgium and all that. But we need to have good system, because if we want to help poorer countries, we need to be strong ourselves in the first place. How can we help somebody if we're not strong enough, like ourselves? As a coach, cross-cultural coach now, and I'm going to definitely strengthen all my skills in that direction. I need to be strong myself in the first place to be able to help other people, okay? So I've contact anyway, so that's good. That's what I wanted to say for today. So guys, please take the opportunity to learn something. I don't want to patronize anyone, but if you can learn something, please do so. Do something that could help you for when we get on the other side. And it's not easy, because there is a massive impact on mental health and different things, and it's not easy to be alone in your house. I totally, completely agree. It's not easy whatsoever. But do whatever you can to get in touch with your neighbors, with your family, whenever that's possible. With family in France, I just spoke to my mom about, let's say, before I started this video, so maybe that's 20 minutes, 25 minutes ago. I spoke briefly to my dad. Just wanted to just say hello. Just say hello, yeah? Oh. What does that cost? Just say hello. Maybe the price of a phone call, couple of quids, okay? But just little gesture like that is very, very important. Okay, guys, so what I'm saying now, I've got 2 Zooms today. What time is it now? 12 o'clock, so I'll have to eat something. That's part of my routine, isn't it? Part of everybody's routine. So 12 o'clock is time, 10 past 12. Now it's time to have something to eat. 3 o'clock, further with Janelle, who's now motivated to have her own YouTube channel. So I just found one that's been sent to me in my suggestion and stuff like that, about how to do YouTube videos using your mobile, and how to edit your YouTube channels on your mobile, and how to post them as well afterwards. So because she's working from a mobile now, and she's doing the same with the Zoom. So I'll have Zoom at 3 o'clock with her, and 4 o'clock I've got another Zoom, and 6:30 again, which is actually better for me, because I've got to Zoom at 4 o'clock with regards to an online shop. We're going to talk about 6:30 with Maria about the ICA course, which unfortunately I don't seem to be able to do myself online, because the videos are on it just won't play on my laptop. So I think I probably have to switch, and I'll have to ask the young lady Leanne, who works for John Haynes, a wonderful coach, for the International Coaching Academy in Liverpool. Okay, and so see if I can do it from this telephone, right? Okay, the screen is a lot smaller, but I don't want to be stopped by this bloody laptop or whatever things is lurking in the background behind the screen somewhere. Okay, and then 8 o'clock Zoom with regards to what I want to do, and I also need to prepare a small presentation for tomorrow at 4 o'clock with our Zoom for Maria Zoom, the networking Zoom. Okay, and on Sunday at 3 o'clock I've got a Zoom with Natasha as well with regards to resilience. So look out for that Zoom, for that video about resilience, because she's really a resilient woman. She's really an inspiring person, and what she's gone through. She's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I will be speaking to her at 3 o'clock on Sunday and on Zoom. Okay, and I will be putting the video as soon as we've done it. So next challenge is for me is to choose a couple of days in the week, some fixed days to put this video out. Okay, Okay, so that's great, fantastic. So I'm so happy now. I'm glad that I told you something. I'm going to upload this first. Okay, call upload on my laptop, and then let it upload and get myself something. Take this opportunity. Well, if I can call it an opportunity, but take this time you have for yourself, for whenever possible. Learn something for yourself and for your own good. Then that will be, to develop yourself so that you're stronger and resilient. Develop your resilience. Don't let it beat yourself. Okay, that's the message I want to give you today. Don't let it beat you. Okay, guys, thank you. See you soon. Bye bye for now.